This has all the ingredients of a situation that starts quiet and then suddenly explodes. Because right now, the relationship between Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looks stable on the surface. But underneath, there's tension building around one simple question: who needs who more? And that's where things can turn ugly, fast. It starts with timing. Mayfield is entering the part of his contract where quarterbacks usually get extended, especially after proving they can lead a team. Not long ago, he had Tampa sitting at 6-2 and playing like a legitimate contender. For a stretch, he even looked like an MVP level quarterback. That matters, because in today's NFL, that kind of production doesn't stay cheap for long. But Tampa isn't rushing. GM Jason Licht basically said everything is on the table, which sounds flexible, but in reality, it often means nothing is close. And when a QB feels like the team is hesitating, that's when the tone shifts. Here's where it gets complicated. Mayfield has leverage, real leverage. If he plays out this deal and hits the open market in 2027, he could walk into one of the biggest bidding wars we've seen. We're talking about a quarterback market that could cross $50 million per year, and he might be one of the best available options. That's why this isn't just about an extension. It's about control. Because if Tampa drags this out, Mayfield's camp could push for something very specific, a clause that prevents the franchise tag, and that changes everything. Normally, the franchise tag is the team's safety net. It keeps elite players from leaving, even without a long-term deal. But if Mayfield blocks that, he controls his own exit, and Tampa loses its biggest piece of leverage. So now the Buccaneers have two choices: pay him now at a price they might not love, or risk losing him entirely with no backup plan. Neither option is comfortable. And there's another layer here that nobody's ignoring: the departure of Mike Evans. When a franchise lets a legend walk, especially to a contender like the San Francisco 49ers, it sends a message, not just to fans, to the locker room, to the quarterback, because Mayfield is watching that and thinking, are we building something or just maintaining? That's why free agency becomes so attractive, not just for money, but for control, stability, and a real shot at winning. And if a team like the Los Angeles Rams ends up needing a quarterback, especially if Matthew Stafford steps away, the fit becomes obvious. Familiar system, proven upside, instant contender potential. So where does this go? Right now, it's calm, but it's the kind of calm where both sides are quietly preparing for a fight. If Tampa waits too long, the price goes up. If Mayfield pushes too hard, the relationship cracks. And once that trust is gone, there's no negotiating it back. This isn't just a contract situation anymore. It's a standoff. And the longer it drags on, the more likely it is that one side decides to walk away for good.